World's most dangerous bird. They can weigh over 150 pounds. They can run 30 miles an hour. This was posted this fall to a Austin Facebook group. Hello, everybody. My cassowary got out of my backyard again. Please keep an eye out. His name is Raul, and he'll come if you call him. What are we doing with cassowaries?
This has to be a joke.
No, this was in East Austin. It was running around the Mueller neighborhood. You know how many people are like, hey, my pet crocodile got out. Keep an eye on him.
What?
His name's Lyle the crocodile. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to 2025.
We're here. It happened.
It's like Y2K was 25 years ago. So evidently we were at the movie theater for, like, we were seeing Moana 2, right? It was the holiday movie thing.
Oh, cool, yeah.
But there's a movie coming out all about Y2K. And my kids are like, what's that, Dad?
That?
And I had to explain the whole, like, the world was going to end because there were only 2 digits in our software. And they're like, huh?
I was just about to say, go ahead, explain how that really worked. I would love to hear somebody say, "Oh, well, it all made perfect sense."
Yeah,
if you think about
back
it.
then, every number was 2 digits, and it was these green computers or whatever. But it looked like a Scream ripoff or something. Maybe it's out already. I don't know. It was like Y2K, some kind of movie. If you're into really bad horror movies, this looks right up your alley.
Sounds like the perfect little storyline for it.
I know,
Y2K.
exactly. So anyway, that was a random tangent. It's January, guys. Welcome to the new year. You're listening to the Daytripper podcast. I'm Chad Garner. Got Daniel Meese over here hanging out, and we're going to talk about all things Texas. So anyway, like, Texas travel is what we do. Daniel, I know I'm going to drag you around a lot of places this coming year on the show, but, like, where do you personally want to see? Like, what are the goals? What's on the bucket list for 2025?
So I don't know if it's going to happen in 2025, but I really want to take Jordan to Ireland.
Whoa, that's
a huge bucket
Ireland,
list,
Texas?
right?
Ireland, Texas?
No, the Ireland.
Okay.
Just, Irish roots. Go back and see the
homeland.
The homeland, exactly.
Have yourself some Irish whiskey and drink. Wait. But bangers and mash. Eat some bangers and mash.
Drink some Guinness.
Oh, man. That's going to be awesome.
It would be awesome.
Like summertime, wintertime.
Everything's so different. You go to that side of the world, the seasons are different, and you kind of have to, like, prepare your life to get turned upside down.
Yeah, everything
right?
I see of Ireland's like rainy and cold and drizzly, but, like,
there's times where it's not as bad.
I would think so. Yeah. When the leprechauns and rainbows come out. Dude, that's going to be awesome.
I really want to take her.
Has that been on the bucket list for a long time?
It's been on the bucket list for quite a while. So if it doesn't happen this year, we have some smaller trips planned.
Okay. That's a big one, though.
That is like the big one. So something else we want to do is definitely get back out to West Texas. We just love going to West Texas.
Sure.
You know, like, anytime we go there. My girls still have not been in Big Bend. Because we've taken them. You kind of, if you're going to Big Bend, you're going there to go to Big Bend,
the national park, as opposed to, like, the region.
Yeah. So, like, we've gone to Marfa, Alpine, Fort Davis, Balmorhea, like, all those areas, and I love it. And that's when I say West Texas, typically that's what I mean. Yeah. But to actually make a trip specifically to Big Bend.
I cannot wait to get the report back when you drag your 4 girls up a mountain for hours and hours without cell phone service.
Everybody needs to experience it, and if I had to do it, they have to do it.
You got to do it too.
This is what I did on a shoot.
They're gonna love it, though. They're gonna hate it, and then they're gonna love it.
Exactly.
And then they're gonna hate it. It's the progression of hiking. I love this. No, I don't. I hate this. And then you get back in the car and go, no, wait, I loved that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to take their phones away. They just don't work.
Yeah.
So let them keep the phone. You can take pictures.
That's true.
And then complain because they can't upload them.
I got to share.
I need to show
my
somebody.
friends have to know. Oh, dude. So we went to West Texas. I can't remember if I talked about it on the podcast, but, like, in October, we went on a family vacay to Fort Davis, Balmorhea. Those were really it, and went to, like, the McDonald Observatory. Yep. It's amazing out there.
I love it so much. Yeah. And seeing the stars at night when you're out there, you just can't.
Yeah, we got to go film up there with the astronomers.
We did, going out to Fort Davis. It's hard to put words to it. It really is. It's just there's nothing else like it. You want to say definitely in the state, but honestly in the country, and it's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
It really is.
As far as dark skies go.
It really is.
It's a place with no light pollution at all. And so if you haven't seen the stars in West Texas, or remote Montana, but West Texas is right there. Sure. If you haven't gone to a place where there's literally no cities around and looked at the stars, you're missing out. You haven't seen stars yet till you look up and see the Milky Way right above you. Oh, man.
So cool.
I'm jealous. All right.
What about you?
Okay. So I have 10 counties left. I set a goal last year to see 5 counties that I hadn't been to. Yeah. And to give people some background, there's 254 counties in Texas, and that's a lot. And even I haven't been to all of them.
And so people are like, what?
I know.
Not even you?
But do an exercise. Grab a map and actually tick off the counties you've been to. I guarantee you have not been. I mean, some people have been to all of them, but you've been to a lot less than you think.
Sure.
Even if you've traveled around Texas for a while, because there's a bunch that are like Eagle Pass. Like, unless you've gone to Eagle Pass, you ain't checked that one off.
Well, so that's the crazy thing. Like, just to piggyback on that, if you've been on every major highway in Texas, you still have probably only been to half the counties.
Yeah, maybe less. Maybe less. And so I came up too short last year, and it's eating at me. But these are the 10 counties I have left. These are the ones I ticked off. I went to the Valley with Coca-Cola, but I got to get the Eagle Pass, of all things.
That's a tough one.
But then I've got some embarrassing ones like Jack County, Baylor County, and then Archer County. They're like right there. I've looked into them. I've just never been.
What cities are in that area though?
Archer City, Jacksboro, Throckmorton County's below. I can't even tell you what the Baylor County seat is. Maybe Seymour. No, that's somewhere different. Anyway, and then I got to go up to the Panhandle. I thought when we went to Canadian, we were going to check these off.
I thought so.
And then, but like we were exhausted. What was that shoot? Like 5 days.
It was
and the idea of like, hey crew, I'm going to drag y'all on a 3-hour loop to see nothing but my own county courthouses. Yeah. So
I wouldn't have mind.
I got to get 5 more. I got 10 left total, and if I get 5 per year, boom, I'm done. Maybe 2025 is a big enough reason to just knock it out.
Knocking them out. Yeah, just do it.
I might not make it to 2026, Daniel. We don't know what we're promised.
We don't.
So I better go do it. And then as far as like personal bucket list, you want to bring the girls to West Texas. I want to bring my family to Palo Duro Canyon. They've never seen it. Laura has never seen Palo Duro.
Wow.
So we want to go out there, stay out there. There's some off-road trails, do all the things.
Yeah.
That's on my 2025. We'll see if we get there. All right, let's pause for our first sponsor. Thank you to Don Huet Chevrolet. It's a new year, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go to off-road trails with, 2 actually. I want to bring my Trail Boss Silverado 1500, but I bought fielding a used Jeep from Don Huet Chevrolet because they have used vehicles as well.
Yeah.
And so I've got a Don Huet Chevy and a Don Huet Jeep.
Would you ever thought you'd say that?
No, I know, right?
Yeah, but it's awesome.
But it was good. And so we got to break that thing in. It has only seen pavement now. We've owned it for a few months, and that's just wrong. So anyway, if you want to buy a new car in 2025, Don Huet Chevrolet has the newest models, all the technology you can imagine. And if your New Year's resolution is to go electric, Don Huet Chevrolet has you covered. The electric vehicles are rolling out fast. They've got the Equinox, the Blazer, the electric Silverado. You think they'd loan us one to go on a road trip in?
I would love to do a test on an electric Silverado.
Just drive it till it dies?
Well, we're not going to kill the thing, but no, like I want to see how practical it is to go out west.
Sure.
Because there's stations, but do I have to plan a lot? Like,
right.
I want to know.
Exactly.
Or is it better just for more in-town type stuff?
Uh-huh.
All I know is they look
Hall and stuff, they do look sweet.
They look cool.
All right. If you need room for the family, Blazer, Silverado, Tahoe, Equinox, Traverse as well. Anything you need, or if speed is your thing, the new 2025 Corvette E-Ray. That's an electric Corvette?
I think it's a hybrid.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's electric.
Now that's what we need to take out on the road.
Dude. Yeah, let me take that back. We need to test the E-Ray.
The E-Ray. Hey, look, how about this? I'll get a Silverado, you get one of those things, and we'll just drive like, we'll just swap spaces on the highway.
Hey, the E-Ray, my middle name's Ray. I'm D-Ray.
The Danny Ray?
The D-Ray, E-Ray.
The D-Ray and the E-Ray. Let's go. Okay. Oh, man. So that's a new 2025 bucket list right now. That's what we're doing.
All right.
Okay. So let's fill people in. December was chaotic, dude. Absolutely crazy.
Oh, man.
So highlight for me, though, I got to go back to Galveston in the winter.
Yeah. What was that like?
Okay. So I had a speaking thing, and it was at an engineering conference, and it was great. But I was in Galveston for 2 days, roaming around by myself in the wintertime.
Yeah.
It's stinking awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's not crowded, and you get the oysters. So there's a lot of reasons you can go to Galveston, right? Beach is obviously one of them. People want that summer vibe, souvenir shopping thing. Like, okay, whatever. That's great. But in the wintertime, it's kind of cold. The beach looks like Oregon, I guess. I've never been to the beach in Oregon, but like it's kind of misty and long, and there's just a few people on it. Okay. So you aren't going there for the beach, but the history in Galveston is off the charts. Right. I mean, if it hadn't kept getting knocked down by hurricanes, Galveston would be one of the premier historic towns in all of the country. You're talking.
It'd be one of the biggest
Charleston,
in Texas too.
Savannah, Atlantic Beach or whatever. Like you would have, it'd be biggest in Texas for sure. But you would have all these mansions that existed, and so you can go back there. I just went all in on oysters, baby. I did.
So wait, what's the rule with oysters?
Okay, you eat them on months with an R. But that's the idea.
Okay.
So January, February, March, April, but May, June, July, August, no. Because when the water heats up, they get weird.
Okay.
Like they go into a molting stage, and also that's when, if they're going to make you sick, you have a higher probability that they're going to get sick because of some certain things in the water. So, but in the cold months, this
is the time.
I went to Guido's, which is one of the oldest restaurants in Texas. It's been around since 1911. So I go there, and I'm like, what do I want? And they had, all of a sudden, I looked over, and the appetizer was like oyster sampler. It was one of every kind of oyster we make. I was like, boom, yes. So it was everything. Raw oysters, bacon-wrapped oysters, fried oysters Rockefeller, ones with cheddar cheese, ones with shrimp, like a lot of cooked oysters.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my gosh. I just sat there by myself, just in heaven. I could have eaten a whole nother platter, too.
Does Guido still do the thing with the lemon water? You put your fingers in it?
I didn't get lemon water, but they might have.
They used to do that. So it's kind of like you could clean your hands. They'd bring out like this little bowl with lemon water, and you would put your hands in it and
that's
clean
awesome.
it or something like that.
So I was having to wait for a table in the main restaurant. There were like these little tables in the bar area. So maybe I didn't get the full like.
Because it's like a multi-course.
Welcome to Guido's.
I know.
Yeah. Right? So I just sat in a table in the bar area because I was by myself next to like the kitchen. It was cool, but I didn't get the lemon water. No, dang it. Got to go back. December, big standouts for you. What?
Oh, December was just full of all kinds of stuff, man. But something that we did this month that I don't think we've done in a long time was we actually shot an episode in December.
Dude, we did. Yeah.
That might not seem like a big deal for most people, but the reason that we don't typically do that is because there's so many things going on. Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, all that. Hard to, make things work with schedules for people. And then on top of that, you're going to have Christmas stuff.
Dude.
All over everything you shoot.
It looks like the elves barfed everywhere.
It does. Yeah. And that can be a good thing.
Yeah.
But when you're shooting a video that's supposed to be kind of evergreen.
Yeah. So tell them where we went.
So, also cool, we went to Hutto.
Yeah.
Which, if you would have asked me, a month ago, is this going to be cool? I'd have been like, well, I kind of grew up there. No, this isn't.
No, it won't.
Cool.
Yeah, you lived there forever.
Yeah. And in my mind, it's something completely different than it apparently is now.
Yeah.
It blew me away. I was like, what in the world? And some of the smallest things we used to do when I was a kid aren't even possible anymore because it's so built out.
Okay, so Daniel was like, oh, we've got to go to Jake's Hill Bridge or whatever.
Yeah, Jake's Hill Road.
Okay, and tell him it's like this. It's a spooky road. It's got a whole legend.
Yeah, so the whole thing is like, supposedly, this is like over 100 years ago. This farmer.
Cue the scary music.
I know, it's very scary. There was a farmer. In a day.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how much of the story is true, but the farmer supposedly killed his family whenever he lost everything during the Great Depression.
Okay.
He like pushed them in a car off the bridge. Some stories say that he hung himself on the bridge. All this, don't really know, but what we do know is that bridge has had a lot of bad luck over the years because many people have died on this bridge.
Okay.
And there's something else that's weird about it. The angle of the road and the way it comes down is, you don't think about it till you're sitting on it. But if you put your car in neutral in the middle of the bridge and you just sit there, it looks like you're rolling uphill. Because Jake and his family are pushing you to safety. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if Jake is.
Yeah,
I think it's the family because Jake killed the family.
Yeah,
so it's
like, they're trying to save you from their fate.
You don't have to be like us and dead. We're going to push you to safety.
Which is totally like a that story is not unique to Jake's Hill Bridge. Like,
it is definitely not.
The kids over the railroad track.
Exactly.
So we had it all planned out. It was going to be awesome. We were going to put our car in neutral on this abandoned country road. Turns out Hutto's not so abandoned country anymore.
No.
Dude, it was like a super highway.
I mean, that little county road is now probably, 50 cars a minute.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many cars going by, we couldn't even, like, it was dangerous to even consider it.
Yeah, stopping. Yeah, we wouldn't. And we would not encourage our beloved viewers to do that either. But it was kind of a bummer because I was like, oh, Daniel's got this insider information. It's going to be spooky and creepy. And then, you couldn't even brake on that bridge. There were so many cars.
So crazy. So crazy. But the other thing, too, they got some amazing food now. Yeah. Like, what the heck?
Texan Cafe. We went there.
We've had Texan Cafe.
Yeah.
But then we went to a place that had some amazing.
Amazing.
I know that I had the amazing Asian and it went amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, chopsticks.
Yeah, it was good.
Like, I never would have thought.
It was Asian street food. It was kind of a blend of a lot of different countries. It was awesome.
Good fusion, Asian fusion.
It was awesome. So stay tuned. Hutto's going to debut in May. Mm-hmm. But in February next month, we also have new episodes. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got a bunch coming up. All right. Moving on. Meanwhile, in Texas.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
All right, hit me. What'd you find?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know you've been hearing all these stories lately about up in New Jersey seeing drones.
Oh, the alien invasion?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't really know what this is.
We don't.
It could be anything. That's what's kind of crazy. It sounds like a joke because as somebody that, flies a drone.
Yeah.
And then plus, I mean, we both fly a drone for the show. And so we know how easy it is to throw something up there and get, whatever you need. Well, I think as of last year, it actually became legal to fly at night.
Oh, okay.
And so there's different laws everywhere you go, but for the most part, you can fly at night if you have the right lights and all this stuff.
Okay.
But the thing is, like up in New Jersey, the whole thing going on is like, there's no radio communication from a radio control because nobody can jam the signals. So they're just like, these things are pre-programmed to fly, and some of them are staying up there for like 5-6 hours.
What?
And you're like, wait, I can't, like a drone.
And they're like quadcopter drones.
Some of them I think might be fixed blade, fixed
wing.
Yeah, fixed wing. Sorry.
Okay.
There's different kinds, right? But they're like the size of cars.
Who's making those?
So that's okay. This is the whole thing that's happening up in the East Coast.
Okay.
Well, now it's happening down here.
Whoa.
So I just read something. They've been seeing some of these same kind of drone scenarios happening. And of all places where you just were in Galveston.
What?
Yeah. All along the coast.
Okay. Now, I did hear about it on the East Coast. I had not yet heard about this in Texas. These things are close enough you can tell they're drones, or they're just like unexplainable lights.
So A little bit of both.
Okay.
And from what I'm seeing, the person that actually did this little report here said that they saw roughly 20 of them flying in from the Gulf of Mexico towards the Galveston Ship Canal.
In from the Gulf. These things got launched somewhere in the water?
I don't know. And then they said that 3 hovered near us and then lower, and then they slowly rose up above the clouds for more than 3 hours. Like,
what?
Dude, there's some weird stuff going on, okay?
Dude.
I've even had family asking me,
questions,
like,
Daniel.
What's up with this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. So there was another congressional hearing with the UAP thing. And from what I gather, the basic conclusion or the testimony from these people in the military was the UFOs that they see, the UFO phenomenon, they've all come out of the water.
I've heard
now there's New Jersey, Galveston, the coast.
I mean, we see things for the most part when they come from outer space down, right?
That's what we think.
Well, we think so because we have all of these satellites and stuff. We can tell when something's coming towards Earth.
Yeah.
But what do we have to, control whether or not something comes from out of the water up? I'm just saying.
This is getting interesting, Daniel. What's this? It's government surveillance, another group? Because the government's denying all this, right? Or
what if the government's getting here all along? Like, who's to say that this... What if we are the aliens? No. What if we are the ones who weren't supposed to be here? And what if something else already was?
Underneath the ocean? Maybe. Interdimensional, Daniel?
Interdimensional.
I mean, like the conspiracy theories, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things right now.
I've heard so many things.
And there's things that have been said over the past couple years that the government was slowly introducing us to spaceships because they're going to, one, have the big reveal, like, okay, guys, we've known about it forever, here they are. Or they're going to stage a fake war against spaceships as an excuse to basically bulk up the military budget. I don't know. And to keep us sort of fearful that we're fighting something. So that way, whatever, you can have more control of the population if you think you're in the midst of a war. It's the intro. It's the introduction.
It's crazy. I tell you what, though, like in New Jersey, they've got excuses why they can't do much about it versus down here. We've got a lot of guns. Somebody's going to shoot those things down. Well, come on.
Yeah, but if they're like quadcopter drones, that to me is like, all right, that's someone in some sort of government entity.
But I don't think that they're quadcopter drones.
Okay. Because
it's hard to tell what they are.
Aliens have better technology than my DJI Mavic. You know what I mean?
Well, and a DJI Mavic is something that if somebody wants, they can take the thing down by jamming the signals. There's a constant back and forth between your controller and the unit itself up in the sky.
Okay.
The ones that are up in New Jersey doing this, they've tried to jam. There's no signal to jam.
There's nothing, and they can't trace it to a specific.
No. And that's why they're like, okay, these are probably something to do with the government, or if it's not,
we're going to shoot one of these suckers down. We're going to learn a lot.
We got to do something.
Maybe it's driven by tiny aliens.
They're tiny
little green men, like really little green men.
Like the little tiny guy that was in the guy's head in Mission Impossible. Remember when his head opens up and he's like little tiny?
Oh yeah,
and he's
little
hamster.
Independence Day.
No, that was Men in Black.
Men in Black. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, creepy stuff, dude. Creepy stuff. All right. So not so much aliens, but still very weird thing. So Texans have some pretty weird pets, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a cassowary?
Well, what?
Okay. So it's the world's most dangerous bird.
Oh,
it is like one. It's like an emu, an ostrich, but not just fear the beak. It has 4-inch talons on its feet.
It's like a dinosaur.
The thing looks like a dinosaur. All right.
Yes.
And it's terrifying. And these things have been known to attack. There's been fatalities because they'll jump at you with the talons, and they have like the kicking force of a kangaroo. And so when they pop that thing, it's world's most dangerous bird. They can weigh over 150 pounds. They can run 30 miles an hour. This was posted this fall to a Austin Facebook group. Hello, everybody. My cassowary got out of my backyard again. Please keep an eye out. His name is Raul, and he'll come if you call him. What are we doing with cassowaries?
This has to be a joke.
No, this was in East Austin. It was running around the Mueller neighborhood. You know how many people are like, hey, my pet crocodile got out. Keep an eye on him.
What?
His name's Lyle the crocodile. Like
cassowary.
This. Yeah, look at
someone had a pet
cassowary. Danny Ray, nothing surprises me anymore. Like, people have the dumbest things.
Oh my gosh!
Remember that guy? Happened a couple years ago in Austin. He he was sad and he decided he was going to let his pet cobra kill him.
Yes.
And the cobra got out on I-35.
Yes.
Like, people, why do we need to do this? People have king cobras for pets, tigers.
Yeah, why?
You know, there's that story on Texas Monthly about the guy who had a boar or like a wild warthog. And it was his friend for like a decade until it decided it wanted to kill him. Like, that's what they do.
This seems more like a story for Florida than Texas, though. You know, like,
Thank you.
I hear these kind of things in Florida. Texas, we got some weird stuff.
East Austin? That's like, it's not as country as it used to be.
Okay, so did they find the thing?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Someone's out there going, Raul. Hey, can you train a cassowary? I got lots of questions.
I don't know, but have you ever looked at the eyes of one of those things? Because they look at you and it looks like there's a human with like the face of a bird.
Oh, it ain't right. Yeah,
like it's looking at you and it's like piercing into your soul.
Deep down. I wouldn't be surprised if those were flying the drones. It wouldn't be.
It all makes sense now.
All right. Okay, let's jump on the next segment. People have been loving this month in Texas history. People actually been liking a little Texas history lesson. We're going to talk this month about something that happened in January. So, Daniel, let's talk about oil. Baby. All. So, it was 1901 in the month of January when the modern oil industry was born in Beaumont, Texas.
Really?
All right.
1901?
So, 1901.
Okay.
That is the definitive date when basically the entire modern global phenomenon of oil that we have erupted out of the ground in Beaumont, Texas. So we'd had some oil discoveries in Texas before, but they paled in comparison to the first true gusher that happened in Beaumont. So Beaumont is in the southeast corner of Texas, sort of down in the coastal prairie. There was a geologist named Anthony Lucas, and he was convinced that there was oil around the salt domes of the Texas coast. Now, he couldn't prove it till he hit it. So he started drilling, ran out of pipe, ran out of money, couldn't keep going. He had a few failed attempts. Things were looking dim. Not only that, there were geological naysayers saying, you're crazy and you're wasting your money. But he was not to be deterred. So he got some more money, started digging again, and with an injection of new money on January 10th, Lucas was drilling, and suddenly mud started coming up out of the ground.
Only it wasn't
that mud. No, that mud next shot 6 tons of pipe up out of the hole.
Oh, snap.
Everybody ran away, scared, and after a few minutes of bubbling mud, they were just watching like what looked like pressurized mud come out of the ground. All of a sudden, boom, a stream of oil 100 feet tall hit, flew up into the air in what has been known as Spindletop. So this was Spindletop. It took 9 days with this gusher shooting 100 feet in the air for them to cap it. It was flowing at 100,000 barrels a day, just flowing out. So I looked, just check barrel. Oil is now at $75 a barrel. So that's every day they were losing $7.5 million. Now oil was cheaper then,
adjusted
but still,
for inflation.
Adjusted for inflation, squirting out of the ground just everywhere. Can you imagine?
That's insane.
It made like basically a lake around.
An oil lake.
Yeah. All of a sudden, this was it. Land started flying. The modern oil industry was born. And up until, from the discovery until the 80s, over 153 million barrels were pulled out of Spindletop in that area. Gulf Oil, Exxon, Texaco, all were born out of that oil explosion.
Man.
So, there you go. This month in Texas history. Woo. That was, 124 years ago.
Crazy.
Changed the world.
Crazy.
Like, it literally changed the world, because now then people started turning this into a profession.
Yeah.
And they were always kind of looking for it, but actually the whole speculating for oil, buying land, it was a game changer. Absolute game changer. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed your Texas History Minute. Now let's move on to some music. Okay. Texas Music Minute. This is a guy who is starting to blow up. He's coming to Two-Step in April.
Hey.
His name is Braxton Keith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You heard of him?
I have.
He's only 24 years old. He was born in Midland kid, and he is sort of one of those guys who's bringing back good country music. And on top of that, he has an excellent mustache. I mean, a great mustache. In December, he launched a new EP called Blue, and this is his song that was just released a couple months ago, but it's already got millions upon millions of streams and views on YouTube. And so this is his, I guess this is his first real breakout hit. It's called Cozy. And I'm about to play it for you. It's a little slow, so settle in. You're going to get a vibe.
All right.
You're holding her hand. Bet you're thinking that you're her only man. You're taking her home, but you don't even realize you're alone. Don't get cozy, 'cause she already told me that she might have been kissing on you, but she was still thinking about me. Her eyes are open wide, I even got a wing. She might have been loving on you, but she said she'd leave you for me. Said she wouldn't pack a bag, she'd just get up and leave. Hope you didn't tell.
Love it.
I know.
Love it.
I love it, man. He's a young
anytime
kid.
you get a good two-step song, it's hard to just, not love it.
I know.
It's like, that makes you want to dance. Come on.
Dude, country music's having a moment. And
We're in a good spot with some of these bands.
We're coming out of some bro country. I feel like that's dying off a little bit. We're getting back to real country music.
Well, it's hard to say real country.
Yeah.
music.
Well, country music's always
the country
been
music
evolving.
that we grew up with.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like,
which our grandparents hated.
Sure.
Because it didn't sound like Hank Williams.
But like 80s, 90s country, that's classic country for me.
That's true.
But yeah, it didn't sound like Hank
But
Williams.
it's becoming like country music is like it. 2024, it had a year where I feel like, Beyonce made a country album, Post Malone made a country album, country is dominating the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody tried to style country-ish,
Yeah.
And so we'll see where 2025 goes. If the country craze will cool off, or if like it's going to replace pop music. Pop music hasn't been exciting for a little bit.
It's gotten too crazy.
Yeah,
they just go over the top with some of these things.
I know.
But now pop can be all genres.
That's true.
It's just whatever is popular.
That's true.
So,
well, country music is better than ever, and you're going to the two-step. I'll be at the two-step in.
Can't wait.
I'm going to definitely make time to see Braxton Keith. Oh, whenever they publish that lineup, they got the lineup. The lineup's out. The schedule.
yes.
We're going to have a special podcast. Look at the schedule again.
Ooh, I can't wait.
All right, guys, a pause for our mid-podcast sponsor, the Collin County History Museum. They want to let you guys know their hours are changing. So they've usually been open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now it will be Friday, Saturday only, as they're building out a whole bunch of new exhibits, including one for Black History Month, which is February. So you can still go see them, just Friday and Saturday only. Plan your visit. It is free. It's in the old renovated post office. Super cool. CollinCountyHistoryMuseum.org. McKinney is fun.
It is.
Oh, it's awesome. We need to get back up to McKinney for all kinds of reasons. Somebody was telling me stuff the other day. They're building a surf park in McKinney.
Oh my God.
Those things are popping up.
Those are really cool.
No. So maybe McKinney Part 2.
Ooh.
Dude, that steak. I went back, it popped up on my feed again, or like I was looking at it through old videos. Local Yokel,
Yep.
that steak that we had there. Oh, man.
That was
I just got hungry for steak again, like watching it. All right. Questions from the back seat, guys.
Are we there yet?
Hey, can you pass me the snacks?
When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Here we go. This one comes from James McEwen. McEwen? Maybe. Says, have you ever traveled the entire length of not just Texas, but the Bankhead Highway through Texas? It was built years before Route 66. So the Bankhead Highway, this is another little history lesson for you guys. It was one of America's, it might have been the first cross-country highway in the U.S. It predated Route 66, and for periods there, it was more popular. Okay. It went all the way from D.C. to San Diego.
Holy cow.
And, Route 66, we traveled that length in Texas. It just cuts across the panhandle. It's fun, but this cuts all the way from Texarkana to El Paso.
Whoa.
Goes through Dallas, Fort Worth, Abilene, Big Spring, and then on. And, James, we have never traveled the whole thing. That would be a long trip, dude.
How much of it is still even there?
A lot of it. And they've got
been turned into multiple different highways.
Yeah, sometimes you're on the access road. To take. No. Like in Big Spring, which we did talk about it in Big Spring, it is the old road right through the middle of town, which of course has been bypassed by the highway. But we talked about it when we went to the Hotel Settles.
Yes,
that was on the Bankhead Highway, so that's where a large majority of its travelers came from. So the Bankhead Highway was also through Arlington. We've talked about it there. Mineral Wells was on the Bankhead Highway, I believe. It's cool. And there's a lot of old abandoned gas stations left, and that's kind of how it is. It's something for history nerds to go do, which self-admittedly, that's me.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. All right, here we go. This comes from Lee in Anna, Texas. First off, I love your show. It gives me and my wife ideas to travel around Texas. We appreciate everything you and the crew do for our state. Quick question. What is the style of hat you wear? I'm looking for one that's similar, not too big, looks great. All right. I think I've answered this question before, but we've gotten swelled with all kinds of questions asking about what hat I wear.
My default answer, I always tell people, go to Stetson, look at the open roads.
I think that's what he's talking about.
I mean, you've got several hats.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, what is this, a poncho?
Oh, this is something from Amigo Provisions Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
your cowboy hats. You've got a few different ones.
I got a bunch.
But the default,
the open road.
It's kind of become that.
It's kind of funny, beginning, I only wore one hat. It was my my straw hat with the bandana on it.
Yeah.
And the people had problems with that hat. The Kenny Chesney hat. Or Brett Michaels, the Poison.
Oh, yes. That probably sounds better.
When he was no, that's worse. Way worse.
If I was going to be modeled after either Brett Michaels
or Kenny Chesney. Yeah. I don't know.
Either way, yeah, it was
not the vibe we were going for, but I still wear that on occasion. It rotates in. But I went to the open road. Now I've got 4 or 5 other hats that they're all on a rotation.
Yep.
But I bet you, Lee, you're talking about the open road. That's a classic hat. Stetson open road. Pretty much any Western wear shop will have it now.
Yep.
It was kind of hard to find. You had to go to some certain ones, but it's trending.
Mm-hmm.
I think, it means I got to find a new hat. Once the public adopts it, I got to,
I mean, you could always do your own custom thing too,
That's true.
There's lots of places that'll make it for you. Or you could also just get an open road and then change the crease.
That's true.
A cattleman
or the brim, you can fold it up.
You do all kinds of things. Make it your own.
That's true. I say you, I mean you. You. Yeah, right. Don't just wear the Daytripper's hat.
Yeah.
You gotta get your own hat. Okay, here we go. This was a funny question. Rhiannon Reyes, who invented the first Texas-shaped waffle maker? And why do Texas waffles taste better than all the rest? I was like, well, the second question first. Yeah, yes, they taste better.
They just do.
I mean, anything in the shape of Texas tastes better. I don't care what it is. A praline, a pecan pie, a cheesecake. I mean, we've had...
Well, no, I think there's actually science to this. You know what the science is? And it's beyond just the fact that Texas is just better.
Hit me science, Daniel.
When you've got the shape of Texas, you've got a grip all the way around with a good bite. If you're eating a sandwich and you can bite one corner, two corner, and then you're left with a peninsula, right?
Oh, yeah.
Texas has like multiple peninsulas. You're holding on to one while you're biting the other, and then the last bite is the middle.
Oh, that's right.
So like pretty much everything Texas. It's like you got so many edges. I love it.
That is true. Your edge to center ratio is high.
Yeah.
I actually did some research into her first question. It turns out the Texas-shaped waffle maker popped on the scene in the 90s, but it was evidently sold only to like hotel supply chain people who were buying in bulk. So like the Best Western. That's where you see the waffle maker.
Right.
So they were the ones who were like basically driving this Texas waffle craze.
Okay.
All right, but in 1993, a company named Vitantonio. Vitantonio, not from San Antonio, that would have worked, but somewhere from the north, like Ohio, they debuted a Texas version of the waffle maker that you could buy for yourself. They're defunct now, and they're actually hard to find.
Really?
Like the Bob Bullock Museum has them. If you want to buy one, Bob Bullock. I didn't even check Amazon.
I can't go online and buy one right now.
I think Amazon may. You know what? Look it up. I don't know.
What?
I found them on the Bob Bullock. It was like, I'm gonna support my Texas State History Museum.
Wow.
But they're not like as common as you think. You can't go to Target and buy one.
Oh, for sure not.
Right?
Yeah.
Bit of a specialty item. But that's kind of fun. I liked that question. If y'all have questions, podcast at thedaytripper.com, or just leave a comment on this video on YouTube or email one in. We're easy to find. All right, here we go. These are the fun ones. The fan rants and musings.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
People getting stuff off their chest or just making really random observations. Here's one. This comes from Gary Porter. He says, I love your tripping stories. I've been a fan for many years. When I tell my wife, my adult kids about a cool Texas place, they always ask, Daddy, did your friend Chet tell you about that place? He's like, maybe. He says, my kids are about your age. And he said, I want to tell you this. I was watching Big Springs, and I can't help but think how much you look like a young, I'm glad he said this, a young Robert Deval with his little stash.
Guys.
Like, that's a cool thing. Keep up the great work. I was like, okay, Robert Deval. When you get told you look like Brad Pitt, you're like, yeah, okay. But
Brad Pitt in what?
Yeah,
Robert Duvall in what?
In what? Like
in Secondhand Lions?
You look like Robert Duvall in Secondhand Lions. You're like 93-year-old Robert Duvall in The Judge or The Apostle, where he's the old weird preacher.
Right.
Oh, so he did say young, but that's the only time I've ever been told I look like Robert Duvall.
I mean, I say take it.
Who have you been told you look like?
Oh, wow. I did hear one time I look like Skeet Ulrich, but it's been a minute.
Who's Skeet Ulrich?
Famous guy from the 90s, actor.
Okay.
Exactly. Like, what's it matter now?
Skeet.
Plus, I'm older. I've got a beard.
I remember this guy.
Yeah.
I remember this guy. I could see that.
It was more when I was
totally
like in my early 20s, probably.
All right. Skeet.
I don't know what he looks like now.
I mean, he looks like you.
Whatever.
So, I knew him from Scream. He was one of the guys in Scream.
He was.
It's kind of a poor man's Johnny Depp.
Hey, there you go.
Sort of. Here we go. So Robert Duvall is like, okay, Godfather, Lonesome Dove. Mm-hmm. You know, one of my life's missions, and I'm going to say it out loud in case any casting directors are watching. Before I die, I want to be in a Western. I got to be in a way, and I can just get shot off a horse. I don't have to have lines. I don't have to have anything. I just want to be in a Western movie.
All right.
Walk in to a bar and get kicked in the face. You know,
I mean, we've done that.
I know,
many times,
but I've had to do it. That's me indulging my own fantasies. I just want to be in a Western. Just someone.
Hollywood.
I don't care. Yeah, Hollywood. I know you're watching. I just need a bit part. Nothing.
Right. I bet you that they can make that happen.
Just something.
They're always looking for somebody to shoot and push the horse.
That's true.
Take somebody to the train station.
Oh man, yeah. I give you the guy
Put him in a body bag. Throw him over the cliff.
Okay, here's a not so good one. Jeff Bednar. Content was good, but I have difficulty watching the show with all your edits and cuts. My head is spinning and I have a headache. Hold a shot longer than 2 seconds, or else it's too fatiguing to watch. Daniel? Bednar's calling you out.
All right.
These are usually mean about me, but you're the final editor, so.
Yeah. I like to try to give people headaches. It's kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah. No, yeah. If you're not hurling watching the Daytripper, we didn't do our job.
I tell you what, if you think that it's fast paced now, go back to the earlier seasons because man, we were moving.
Maybe he was watching earlier seasons because we're not as
we've slowed down a little bit.
We're in our old age. We're settling in.
Is that what it is?
We're in our Robert Deval era. So yeah,
I'm still a mosquito rich. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man. Okay, this is the last one. It's came from Allison Bryant. It's about our mascots discussion and how we're bored with boring mascots. And so I said that the Zephyr team, there's a town called Zephyr.
Yes.
Like they should be the Zebras.
Zephyr Zebras.
Zebra Zebra. I mean, yes.
It rolls off the tongue.
Or the Zephyrs. Like, which is what, like a lightning streak or something?
Okay.
So anyway, she writes in, it's funny you suggested zebras because there are literally a couple zebras right outside the stadium.
What?
I'm like, Zephyr, what are you doing?
It's in your face.
They're the Bulldogs. And that is such a waste. How many towns in Texas start with a Z that could be the Zebras? Not many. They can't be that.
No.
Well,
and if not a zebra, there's probably something else you could do other than a bulldog.
Starts with an X. But yeah. Zephyr Zebras. It's right
I like
there.
I like
the
it.
Zebras are outside their stadium. Mm-hmm. Like, they could watch over the game. You could feed them on Friday Night Lights. It could be a whole thing.
Some people don't want to be unique, I guess.
I guess not.
Want to be like everybody else.
Well, the Bulldogs. That's so boring. Man, speaking of Friday Night Lights, both of our teams flamed out hard.
We got to the first round, second round.
Georgetown got to the second round.
I think we got to the second round.
You win when you make the playoffs. That's cool. You win a playoff game. That's great. So I shouldn't be dogging on the boys.
I know.
They did good. They had a good season. There were a lot of bright spots, but they were geared up and ready to go deep. And the problem was they had the team down 45-7. And lost it. Frisco, Reedy, those boys came to play, and the second half just went to a whole nother level. We couldn't keep up.
It was at half. They were 45-7?
Before half, 45-7. And I think by half, they'd already turned the Jets on, and so got to 45-21, and then just ran away with the second half.
My goodness.
Yep.
My goodness.
All right. So anyway, thank you for the comments and feedback. We absolutely love this stuff. We're going to wrap this one up. Thank you to our sponsors, Huet Chevrolet, Collin County History Museum. Thank you to Alex Ford, our Mixmaster General over here, the producer of this thing. Y'all join us next time. We'll be back. You know what we want to know? We want to know your 2025 bucket list. So write in, tell us what you're planning on doing. We'll talk about some of that stuff on our February podcast. Like it, subscribe it, comment on it. We love you guys. Say bye, Daniel.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's it. And vaya con Dios, amigos.